Hey, what's up with it? So we're back again, and I really love doing these album reviews, and I think a lot of people are receiving them pretty well. So I'm gonna keep doing them. It's one of my favorite things to do is album reviews. So navigating this Atlanta scene, I ran into a lot of rappers that I consider real cool people, and we Atlanta's only so big. So when I run into them, I always ask, oh, what's going on? What's the project like? What you working on? Stuff like that. So one of the particular rappers that I've always ran into, and we've actually done an interview before, a long time ago, is Michael Aristotle. So Michael Aristotle used to have the fade. If you remember, he had that signature high top or whatever, but he's been at it for a minute, and I'm really proud of this guy because, you know, just because you don't have the crazy numbers, you have the talent. And, he's went on to do some amazing things, including like writing for Missy Elliott and, constantly putting out good music. You feel me? So, he just dropped a project, a while ago, and I really wanted to tap in and listen to him, man, because one of the things I really like about him is his growth, with the music, with his sound. And, he don't skip on the bars, so that's a big one for me. So I had to get into his project 003, and I really liked it, man. I really did because, it clocks in at the 8 tracks. It doesn't have this, 15, 18 and what we usually been seeing lately. And, he's from the east side of Atlanta, and he lets that be known in all of his like sonic sounds and everything like that. And it follows a string of different singles that he put out, the build up and the whole rollout was very thoughtful. He had the uh 001, 002, which I believe is, attributed to like 2001, 2002, 2003. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You never know. But it's kind of like signaling of a new era for him. He's constantly growing. He's constantly, doing his thing, finding new avenues to approach. With this album, man, I really like this. So I'm gonna tap in and get into a couple of the tracks that I really like that made this kind of stand out. This is a I don't know, it's more I feel like it's a little more focused than his the Cab album. Not saying anything bad about that one, but I don't know, I just feel like he was a lot like pretty locked in on this one. The production, shout out to Willie Hendrix. He links up with him all the time. So, this is another Willie Hendrix production on most of them, I believe. And, it's atmospheric, it's punchy, it's like still maintaining that signature sound that you always hear, but from him, but you have the bounce, the mix of the hazy late night synths, you always have the crisp percussions, and the production is always on point. To shout out to Willie Hendrix for that. And he has that flow that I really appreciate the instrument, like the instrumentals on this one, the production, because he allows for a great beat, but he still allows plenty of room for the flow to breathe. He don't do too much on the production. Sometimes I don't really be feeling a lot of production because sometimes you focus so much on that. Okay, what about the actual song itself? So I always appreciate that. So the first, intro track is Loop. And I think, intro tracks are really, really important because it sets the tone for the album, and you can slip up. You can slip up. We've seen that plenty of times. You can slip up and, set a tone that people are not really feeling, and then, kind of downhill from there. So to me, this is arguably like the project centerpiece. It showcases his ability to turn a repetitive, like, hook and, the loop, and again, he just going off, man. And the flow is rhythmic, like always, effortless. And he's one of those rappers where I put into he's a rapper's rapper. You feel me? Never skipping on the bars and nothing like that. And I feel like even though he's, still flowing, still, hitting all those punchlines, I feel like this joint is very like radio ready. You know, like if he was pushed on radio, you can hear this on the radio, and that's important. You know, that's important to have that type of crossover appeal. The next one I really liked is New Body. So I feel like he leans a little bit into the pop sensibility kind of with this one, and like kind of like with his, I don't know if people remember like his Almost There era. It's, you know, slick, it's confident. You know, it features a lot of his good like melodic work, you know, on the project. Kind of sets that tone for that one. Another one that I really, really appreciate, and I love these kind of like interludes, you know. I look at it kind of like an interlude, but the Willie Hendrix hour. You know, we get the crazy bars, you know, as always, but there's high energy moments and there's chilling energy moments in the same sense. And he kind of like asserts his dominance in the Atlanta scene, you know, and he's comfortable there. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit, like when I just overview the whole plot of the album, but he's comfortable, man. You know, he's blending the swag with the technical audacity, and then like that first kind of caught us, and I really like this one, the Willie Hendrix hour. The last one I wanna point out is Can You Tell? I like this track only because this track feels like it's a direct nod to his true like songwriting roots. Right, this is the kind of stuff that probably got Missy on board and said, "Hey, I want to work with him." You know, this one is a special one, man. Like the structure is tight. You know, it's very you know, you could tell the formula right there. Delivery is really good, and like the production itself, again, it feels a little bit grander. You know, that's why I give it this. I could see if this was like pushed as a single. You feel me? I think it was a really solid track, and again, it shows his songwriting ability. So, you know, all in all, this album was really good. I urge everybody to check it out. And you know, kind of what makes it stand out to me is the maturity of like Restraint. Right? Even though I said it's a really solid project, he's not trying to do too much. Artists need to focus on that. Don't do too much. Just do what you do. You feel me? Just do your stuff. So he's mastered the art of the short and sweet project. You know, 8 tracks, not 15 or nothing like that. 8 tracks, all solid. Here you go. You feel me? Take that. It's like he effectively balances the bars and the bangers, right? You know, he still got the okay, like I could slap this in the car real quick, you know? It's not just bangers, or it's not just bars. It's a good mix of both, and it's dynamic, and it's defined his career, to be honest with you. That's what he's about. He's about the good beats, and he's gonna give you some bars too. And that's not, even though it sounds like, oh, okay, Kyle, you know, that's what hip hop is, it's not as easy as you think. You feel me? It's not as easy as you think. You know, bridging that gap between the like super lyrical or you know, the rapidy rap or lyrical miracles, whatever you want to say, and having the casual listener. But not everybody wants to hear bars on bars on bars, you know? You want to hear something catchy. So, you know, you got to cater to everybody sometimes. So I feel like he does do that. You know, this one is, unlike a lot of like the modern rap projects, you know, it feels like a collection of just goodness. You know, it doesn't feel like a collection of like desperate singles, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, like it has more of a distinct like sonic arc to it. And it's like the sound of an artist who knows who they are, you know? It's a really solid project. Not too much. He focuses on just again, the restraint of just delivering quality work. Not trying to go over the top with nothing like that, but, you know, just delivering quality work. And I appreciate that. If you haven't checked out 003, whatever you're gonna call it, check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the page. We're gonna do a lot of these album reviews, man. Got a lot of stuff coming. I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. My subscribers are going up. I appreciate y'all. Salute. If you haven't checked out Michael Aristotle, check him out. I'm gonna play a little bit of the loop track. Just give y'all a taste. You feel me?
Yeah. I heard they want it, so I had to give it to them. Mikey been fucking it up, and they just too scared to admit it to him. Back in the days, I said I'm the one, they wouldn't even listen to him. Now if I make a call, you begging for mercy, I won't even listen to you. Dividends, shorty come here and let's get it in. Signing DAs if you bring a friend. Don't talk to me like I'm a citizen. Used to worry about fitting in. Now it's parking spaces he ain't fitting in. I cannot speak to no middleman. Do it big, they wanna belittle me. Speed on 20 like I'm OJ. I was in pajamas the day they acquitted him. Decatur, Chapel Hill Elementary taught me metaphor, simile, synonyms. Saturday, we up in Stonecrest and White Tees at Auntie Anne's for the sentiments. I got some top at the Walmart Panola. The brain was so good, she like finishing. I'm big dog, you just a roof. Shorty blinded by the tooth. Tell the truth, in and out the booth. If it's real, tap me on your cooch. Cut a shot, say pull up and This next run is just a loop. This next run is just a loop. Next run is just a loop. Yeah, dividends. Shorty, come here and let's get